So, everybody, good afternoon. It's a beautiful day, and the sun's kind of went into the clouds a little bit, but it doesn't really stop anything. So, earlier this morning, we were reading in this book about how, I'm trying to think where we left off, about how the earliest child needs to be individual and needs to be independent, and how the rules and expectations from family and society really inhibits and intervenes with that. And the negative effects, the extroverted and introverted, we talked about those things. And also getting into the low roads of the earth. Okay, the low now. So, we talked about that, and so I'm trying to, so we looked at color within the lines, and we looked at that metaphor. And that meant that, people telling aliens what to do and how to act. And again, with the stereotyping of aliens, which is another thing to learn not to do. So, and not to say. So again, as we talked about them following the rules, but I wanted to make my own analogy, my own metaphor. Patience for an alien child to follow the rules and not rebel and not go off those things. Their patience that they have is just like a balloon that's flying in the sky. So that balloon's flying, and it's high helium, and when someone pushes or tests the always patience, like something hits the balloon and some helium wins out to the extent of the balloon eventually falling down to the ground, and then the always has just lost it by that point. So that's just a little something that I want to make. So we talked about the always child trying to breathe as well. Being an individual, wants its own life, doesn't want to waste its time with following someone else. And so, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be just making a little, maybe a screencast of what I want you to do is I want you to actually go into Edpuzzle, because there is clips of world strictest parents that I thought were the most significant to aliens. And so that show is about two teenagers who are really badly behaved. They don't respect authority. So then they go to this this really strict family with culture shock and all those kinds of things. So they are living under their roof, and they are raised in the way that their children are raised. And so we're going to talk about the areas, and we'll talk about specifically this portion of this section category, subsection of of the areas, just with the rules and authority, with Cancer and Capricorn, all those things. So that's what I just want to say, but. So that's something that you're going to be doing, and then tying it into astrology as always. So that will be due, I will make it a day later on the 11th, okay? So, let's see. We already read that. Okay. So I think that this is the paragraph that we're going to start at. So, whatever is the cultural conditioning beneath the surface, particularly as it relates to expectations of the child's public persona, home life, and expected gender roles. The eldest child will eventually release the expectations put on them with those things. It's important to note that if the eldest child retaliates and is not out of disrespect, but rather a fleeing of stagnant energy, because so much feelings and so much energy is just being set upon because of just always being inhibited. So when Aries becomes excessive in their expression, which is also known as anger and outrage, that's the excessive Aries. That's another low word of Aries. It is a natural inclination to free up space for their deficiency or entrapment of lack of identity. That's the deficiency. Okay, so entrapment, being trapped, feeling trapped, lack of identity, not knowing who it is, and lost the purpose, lost the passion for life, lost the energy, depression, self hatred, low self esteem, all those things. Um, so, an Aries child who is not given permission to express themselves fully, because of the harsh rules of authority figures, which is Capricorn, ruling the father, and parents and family, which is Cancer. So, authority figures, think of like your teachers, your bosses. So, and then Cancer for family and parents. So over time, could internalize this through self-blame. I'm not capable, or self-hatred. I'm stupid, as we talked about. These internalized involuntary beliefs will eventually lead to both deficiency, low energy and depression, and excess irritability and aggression. Okay? On the other hand, if the child is given full permission to be themselves but lacks the appropriate support from family or authority figures over time, could externalize this through delusions of self-grandeur. Now, I mean, this is Leo, self-pride. And pride is a good thing, but don't overdo it. So it says, I am the most important person here. So that's good. They always feel, energetic. It feels confident in oneself. This is the downside, though. These externalized involuntary beliefs would lead to deficiency, probably resulting in other people being mad at the Aries and just really, yeah, also inhibiting. And so also lack of purpose and direction, without the Aries evolving from all of those other cardinal signs, including Libra, and excess, which is recklessness, bullying, teasing, and violence toward others, more aggression. Those are more um, physical things that could result. So the excess is like really negative, high powered. So I'm going to talk about the reminder and message for parents with Aries children first. So this serves as a reminder to parents with an Aries child to let go of the need to mold your child into the person you think they should be. That they should be. Allow your Aries child to explore these questions. Who am I separate from my parents? Who am I without the expectations and projections that have been placed upon me by society? Okay, that's another one. The phrase for Aries, because all of the zodiac signs have their own special phrase. Aries is I am. I am. It is imperative that Aries is given the space and freedom to discover their own personal connection to their sense of individuality. Uh, if you are a parent, guardian, or teacher of an Aries child, you might benefit from reflecting on the following questions. So these are the questions for anyone who is in a relationship with anybody, friend, parent, whatever, for an Aries child. So, in what ways can I lovingly support and encourage my child's freedom to express their identity? Number one. And then number two is how might I better nurture my child's sense of individuality while teaching the importance of cooperation and communication, which is the polar opposition of Aries and Libra. And then how might I soften those expectations and truly listen to my child? Innate, natural, gifts of why they were born to fulfill their purpose, to be individual with their tendencies and also their callings. Um, so I always need encouragement for self-confidence, but not too much, or they'll be kind of bored and stimulated. They need a constant stimulation. Balance from Libra, and it always needs freedom to express itself and be individual. That closes the Aries as a Child section. Thank you very, very much. Please get to work on the Ed puzzle and also the Aries as a Child paragraph. And don't forget about the Aries in my life that is due. And watch that presentation if you need any help, and I probably will be posting certain videos for that as well to help you out. So, excellent.